Welcome to training camp. We also had our first rainy practice today. We stood out in the rain and watched, and the big news of the day from practice is Nick Chubb took a hit from Mac Wilson, went into the locker room. For a while, we didn't know exactly what was going on. It turns out he is getting checked for a concussion. By the time you listen to this, maybe we'll have an answer as to whether he does or doesn't have one. They took the chance. They practiced outside, and I guess my impression is the first day in pads, it was all about the defense. They were the better unit out there, and I just thought the offense looked disjointed. Baker missed some throws. David Njoku dropped a couple passes. It just didn't look very fluid today offensively, Mary Kay.
Well, I think it just seems like they did not handle the driving rain well. And if they do have to play a game in the rain, I think they can look back to this practice and they can say, you know what? The first time that we tried to do this, we junked it up. I mean, like you said, David Njoku dropped passes. Nick Chubb had a ball punched out of his hand by Kevin Johnson and recovered by B.J. Goodson. I mean, Nick Chubb usually doesn't do that. Like you said, Baker Mayfield tried to hit Odell on a deep ball, and he had him open behind the defense, and he way overthrew him. So it just seems to me, and now, maybe Odell didn't go as full out as he can because he was running on wet grass, and maybe he doesn't want to pull a hamstring or tear up a knee or something like that on wet grass like that. So maybe that had something to do with it. But I just don't think the offense handled the rain. And almost every second of the team drill occurred in almost it was just a downpour. And it opened the door for the defense to come up, to make plays. And the defense was mad at itself for a day that it had yesterday. They dropped and did push-ups yesterday because they didn't do well in red zone drills or 30-and-in drills or whatever they were doing yesterday that we were so far away we had a hard time seeing the yard line. But they let in a lot of touchdowns yesterday, and they ended up paying the price and doing some push-ups for that. And I think they wanted to come out today and make a statement in pads, and they did. And the offense now needs to rebound from that.
Mary Kay, I'm glad you brought up the Baker missed deep to Odell. That was a play-action shot, corner post that probably would have, it's one of those touchdown shots, 50-yard play-action passes that, you saw Kirk Cousins and Stephon Diggs hook up with. And I saw Odell sort of point backwards to Baker and tap his chest as if it was his bad. And for me, that just felt like a classic Odell scenario where he took too long to get to a certain spot. And these two-man play-action pass concepts, the route isn't as definitive. It's not as important. You just need to be in a certain spot downfield by a certain time. And Beckham looked late there, which is what made it look like Baker overthrew him. And that's just me, reading into the play and what I saw. But again, Odell's been known to do that, take a little too long to get to some of his spots. Can't really blame him with the rain, which is, again, it goes back to I was surprised they're out there for so long because it's hard to get stuff done. You mentioned David Njoku's 2 drops. His drop tracker remains around there at 2 back-to-back balls on the first team, one from Baker, I remember, one from Case Keenum. They weren't routine plays, but, you still have to have them. But then, again, the rain makes a de facto excuse in there. So just overall kind of a sloppy day for the offense. And when the coaches go and look at this tape, they're going to wonder how much they really got out of it because the rain negates a lot of what you can do. But, hey, it's not the end of the world when your defense comes out and has a really nice day, because we got to remember, these are still the offense and the defense facing each other. Come week 1 in Baltimore, they're going to be on the same team. So it's all right if the defense can win some of these days because they're going to need it going up against Lamar Jackson, the reigning MVP.